Ipswich Town's journey over these last 2 years has been so unbelievable that if Hollywood made a movie about it, those who don't follow the championship would vilify it for being too unrealistic. In fact, I'd go as far as to say that their return to the Premier League has been the single biggest achievement in English football since Leicester City won the title in 2016. It's the first time since 2012 that a side has won 2 back-to-back promotions, which is made all the more impressive by the fact that, unlike their competition, they didn't have any parachute payments to fall back on. They spent just £4.7 million in the last 4 transfer windows and had to rely on shrewd loan deals to keep up with the likes of Leicester and Leeds. What's perhaps even more remarkable is that despite having their backs against the wall financially, they've played an attacking, fearless and expansive style of football, all while losing just 10 games across 2 years. This saw them score more goals than any other team in the division and made them a fascinating watch for neutrals who tuned into their games. Much of the credit for this goes to their 37-year-old manager Kieran McKenna. Now, as a Man United supporter, I only ever heard good things about him during his stint at Old Trafford. He arrived with the reputation as being one of England's most promising coaches after impressing with Tottenham's under-18s and transformed Man United's academy almost instantly, helping them lift the Premier League Northern Division title. Mourinho, who isn't an easy man to please, liked what he saw so much that he promoted McKenna to the first team coaching staff ahead of the 2018-19 season. Although Jose was sacked just a few months later, his replacement in Ole Gunnar Solskjaer decided to retain McKenna's services, and it was only in December 2021 that he decided to try his hand at management with the Ipswich job. What he's done in his 2.5 years at Portman Road is nothing short of a miracle. Days before he was appointed, Ipswich had just crashed out of the FA Cup to League 2 side Barrow. Things weren't going too much better in the league either. They were languishing in mid-table in the 3rd tier with even a playoff spot well beyond their reach before Christmas. Despite all the chaos surrounding the club, the soft-spoken McKenna's methodical, clear and honest engagements with supporters and the media immediately brought a sense of calm, with players responding on the pitch with 7 wins in 10. Despite the obvious improvement, Ipswich had to settle for an 11th place finish. The momentum they picked up, however, continued into the following campaign, where they went toe-to-toe with Plymouth and Sheffield Wednesday for a playoff spot. Just like this season, they finished 2nd with the most goals scored in the entire division following a 19-game unbeaten run. Upon returning to the championship, Ipswich fans were just hoping to win more games than they lost in order to beat the drop, but McKenna had other ideas. His tactical approach saw his players thrive on chaos, with the electric atmosphere at home games often pushing them over the line with comebacks, stoppage time winners, and counterattacks that left the opposition chasing shadows. They became a team in every sense of the word, with each member of the squad understanding their specific role and displaying the sort of chemistry you'd struggle to even get on a game like FIFA or Football Manager. Unsurprisingly, McKenna was named the Championship Manager of the season recently, and I for one can't wait to see how he fares with Ipswich in the top flight. Needless to say, things can quite easily go tits up. Their brazen approach to games may very well backfire against superior opposition, just like it has for Burnley and Vincent Kompany this season, but I speak for every true football fan when I say it's brilliant to have a club with their history back in the big time. It's been 22 painful years since they were last in the Prem, a time span which included administration, fleeting playoff disappointments, false dawns under new ownership, and a raft of managerial changes. The dark dates, however, make their return all the more sweeter. Honestly speaking, it's a bit of a mindfuck for me on a personal level too. I started watching football in 2001, and at the time, Ipswich were competing with the likes of Liverpool for a Champions League spot, eventually finishing 5th. They'd beaten Inter Milan in Europe, yet somehow finished 4 points adrift of safety domestically. Their success wasn't just a flash in the pan either. After all, this is the club where the late Sir Bobby Robson initially made his name, winning the FA Cup against Arsenal in 1978 and the UEFA Cup, now rebranded as the Europa League, versus AZ Alkmaar in 1981. Furthermore, Sir Alf Ramsey, the only man to win an international trophy with England, guided them to a league title in 1962 prior to winning the World Cup in 1966. Taking all this into consideration, I think it's fair to say that just like Nottingham Forest, Ipswich are back where they belong, and I hope they remain in the Premier League for years to come. Romance is largely gone out of the modern day game, which makes stories like this one all the more beautiful. Do let me know what you make of this down below, and I'll catch you in the next one, folks. Peace.